It's currently 3 a.m. in the morning, and I'm doing this pretty late. I meant to do this actually earlier, but this video is intended to be a response to Paul from Team APS. Did I get that right? I don't even know. It's real late. So everyone's asleep. I'm in the living room, and I'm going to show you guys what I use to duel. Hopefully you can hear me. The kind of whisper, because if I don't, the dogs will probably start barking. So, first things first is the mats. This is the mat I use. This is my, I guess, personal mat here, which as you can see are the zones. On top of that, this is the mat my opponent uses, and usually I am not here. I am actually over here on this side, and my opponent is actually on this side. Their mat has no zones. I actually told them about the whole no zone mat type of thing, and they're like, well, that's stupid. But anyway, there's also actually a second mat that we both use. That mat is actually a two-player mat, so it actually has link features right here. Alright, just so you know, I don't have a tripod, and I'm actually doing this on my phone, so I had to actually use both hands. So next, I'll be showing you that I actually use the ultimate guard. I don't know if I should put this in my mat. I probably won't. I want to keep the mat nice and clean. But I actually use the ultimate guard mat and tray for my mat, and it comes with that there. And it actually comes with this tray as well. And in that tray, I use a can't see that because my shadow being cast by this light behind me, but it's a good luck coin. Along with that, I use some, what is it? I forgot what they're called, but these things for counters, and then 2 pairs of dice. I actually don't know where I got these dice at, but they're in my box, so yeah, pretty nice, pretty good. And they all go in there, nice and neat. So that's where I put my token and stuff. And so usually this is how it would actually end up looking if I were to be in a duel with my opponent. Something akin to this. With my mat here and my stuff over here, so I could just reach into my dice and boop, reach into my box, I should say. And of course, my deck box right here. Let me get the deck box for a second, which is my Moonlight deck box. I did a review on this deck box about 2 years ago, I think. Still holding up, pretty nice, pretty good. If you like to get your hands on a leather deck box like this, it doesn't have to be with a symbol like this, it could just be a simple color. Go ahead and look up leather deck box. Actually, link will be in the description for this deck box and for some of the other stuff here. Not too much for the mats though. The mats, like eBay related items. Ooh, my hand. So let me show you how I set up my deck. So here's how it would basically look like. Most players have the deck to the side or something like that, and I actually keep it real clean. I usually follow the rules set on the mat. I use these as attended for spawn trap cards, and while my monsters go here, of course, I don't do anything crazy like this to the side or anything like that. People usually do. People usually put their decks not on the deck zone, but I do. People usually put their deck here, over here, but me, I always stick to the simple rules of putting it right there in that little zone. Same thing, placements with the spell trap cards in the field spell zone, field card zone, sorry. And then my extra deck, of course, in the extra deck zone. Nothing crazy or out of the norm here. Same thing with the graveyard. My opponent does the same thing. I do see videos of people putting their deck to the side like this. No hate against them, but it could get confusing to their opponent. But again, if my opponent did that, I wouldn't really care. But I would care a little bit since we're now in a column-based link format and all that stuff. So yeah, graveyard here, and where I put my banish cards, I actually put my banish cards right here underneath the deck. If it was on the 2-player playmat, I would actually put my banished cards to the side ways like that, because the banished playmat's actually, the 2-player playmat's actually way more smaller. So the cards would actually be like that, and if it was face down, the banish would be like this, almost nearly touching the link zone, but not quite. Or I think it would just probably be face down like that. But yeah, when it comes to this playmat, whenever it involves banishing cards like these, I just put them to this side. So it's underneath the deck. And this spot's pretty open. So right next to it, of course, is my dice and all that stuff. Sometimes I do this, though. Sometimes if I need, I guess, more space or something like that. Now, you're probably wondering, well, what about your hand? My hand. Well, I don't lay down the cards like this, but I actually just pick them up and I hold them like this. I'm actually a pretty neat little boy, you know. I just hold them like this. And no, I don't actually shuffle around my cards. They stay like this. I may shuffle them around a bit here and there, but that's only a bit. So usually it's like this, and I end my turn. Now it's my opponent's turn to go. So yeah, that's how usually my hand is, like this. It's never really, the only time I ever drop it down is if I gotta do something else. But then I would pick it up again, and well, not with one hand, of course, because the other hand's holding the phone. So that's about everything. That's, ooh, it needs to focus. That's about everything. I don't actually go too much out of the norm, but that is actually how I do the other stuff, the miscellaneous stuff. The dice, let's say you could use bicycle die, the lucky coin, usually always backfires on me. And the good part about this mat and the other mat, or actually any mat really, is that when I don't have to use a deck with a extra deck, it's usually just, it looks like this, and this would be my hand, let's just say. However, I do use a deck that uses a token. It gets pretty complicated. Sometimes I put the token here. Sometimes I put the token here. Sometimes I put the token in the deck box. So the deck doesn't actually have any extra deck monsters in it. So it's usually like this. Oh my god, that's way out of focus. Okay. So usually it's like, it's usually like this. So what would I do is put the token there, or the token in the deck box. I know I said that already, but just re-saying it again. Now you gotta see with a different angle. But that was everything. That's basically everything I do / use. The last thing I do use is actually the Cyrus Duel app on my phone, but I'm currently recording this video on my phone, and I don't have any software that can record off of my phone. So, nor do I know how to get that. You know how to get that? Please tell me. I could probably look it up, but I have no interest in doing that. Sorry for moving the phone all around. But yeah, it's usually safe for my opponent, but when they banish stuff, they usually just throw it away. Just whoop. But no, they just put it next to the dice box they got. But this isn't about my opponent. This is about me right here. This is about me. This space is actually right here is actually where my phone would go. So it would actually be like that. Imagine the dice box being my phone. So yeah, this would be my phone with the Cyrus app on it, easily doing stuff and all that. So yeah. Oh my god. Hold on. There we go. I guess if I had to put anything else, it would be actually right here, which is why I like this spot. For that 2-player mat, though, that spot is not here. I did put a link in the description to that 2-player mat. It's pretty nice. So that's it. So hopefully that answered your question there, Paul. Think about other stuff. Oh yeah, that's it. That's all. That's how I handle the tokens. That's how I handle the dice. That's how I handle the lucky coin. It's in here. sometimes a little hard to get it out the coin. But if you download the Cyrus app, basically there's you could do some coin flips and some dice rolls, up to you. I'm gonna leave the Cyrus app in the description if you want to download it for your phone. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good app. Just look in the description. There'll be some other things. And follow me on Twitter. Hit that like and subscribe button, and click that bell for some notifications. I need comments to fuel my video making. I need some sort of communication, basically, what I'm saying, with the fans, but I have no fans, so that's why this whole entire channel is a bit of a shit show. Also, I suck at everything else. Deck zone. No, I'm just joking. Anyway, I do like this mat, though. I just want to say, with this last couple seconds I'm going to use in this video, this mat is 10 out of 10, my favorite mat. Chaos Goddess, yes, best synchro. I know she does not have good effect. Best synchro. She would be my ace monster, because she has 2,500 attack. God damn, I'm using the last couple seconds to just geek out over some waifu. But good shit. Alright, and so in case you're wondering why there's more runtime, this is actually why. I don't actually use this in gameplay, I duel, but if I actually was resorted to, this is actually how I would do it. So this is actually a bit of an add-on that I thought about after I finished the video. So it's actually was behind the base stadium. So give me 1 second. It's a bit banged up since I used it like 2 years ago. I regret. Well, I guess I'll show you. I regret. Ooh, sorry. Wait, I'll do it from this angle. I'm sorry. Oh, Jesus. Anyway, yeah, it's still functional, believe it or not. But my dual disc actually. Oh my God, okay, I thought it was falling. So this is a modified GX dual disc. You're gonna need a pop socket holder and a pop socket. I have a pop socket on the back of my phone, so it just slides in like that. And with the Cyrus app, fully functional. The graveyard works fine. The deck zone works fine. The deck zone got messed up though because I spray painted it. If you were to do anything like this to your GX dual disc, don't mess with the deck zone because that actually messes up the card sleeves and could potentially hurt your cards. And it's pretty hard to open this and close it and all that because of the spray paint. The field spell zone still works as intended, and since card sleeves all fit on here already, everything is fine. Same thing with the deck zone. So some of the cardboard's actually coming out because of the super glue isn't glued on anymore, but the cardboard helps a bit. The whole idea was this to make it look cool and stuff. Kind of felt there, but it's still functional. On top of that, this is where the pendulum zones would have been, but since we're in the Link era, this is where actually the Link monsters go. But you have to remember this zone is corresponding to this zone, and this zone is corresponding to this zone. So if you link summon a monster here, you're going to have to link summon a monster here if its arrow is pointing this direction, and then so forth and so on. So it's just a little extra step to go on, but if you're playing in the previous Master Duel format, this is the link zones here, so nothing really changes. The spell trap cards all work fine, completely fine. So this is how, let me put on the dual disc first. Making a homemade dual disc is probably better than modifying a pre-existing one. Actually, I think it's all up to you. I would have paused the video to make it shorter, but yeah, just forget about it. So this is basically how the dual disc would look. It's a bit bent up, but yeah, this is how it would look. Let me fix it a bit because I actually would wear a glove, and the glove would actually thicken out my. It would basically thicken right here, so it doesn't actually have to be that tight. And since the material, it actually acts different. This is how the dual disc would look, basically, on me, so forth on that. I don't know why I said so forth. Ooh, but yeah, definitely wear a glove or something because that's like a blood pressure machine. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Okay, now my phone is telling me battery low. As you can see, there's some scratches here. But yeah, just put your phone there. It works fine. Because of the mess of deck zone, your deck may fall out. but just don't spray paint the deck on. But anyway, it's kind of self-explanatory. I mean, there's only really two things to be done here. Is Link/Pendulum Zone, just depending on what master role you want to go for. Spell and trap cards, you gotta play spell and trap cards. I mean, come on, get on a table. Monsters go here. I actually have an old video about this. It's much more terrible. Anyway, there's no more battery, so this doesn't light up, so it's eternally red like this. Again, I had to extract everything in here to put this on here. It's really terrible. Now looking back on it, I mean, cool idea. It's awesome that I did it, but I think I would have just rather made my own. But I don't actually know where to start making my own custom-made dual disc. Maybe I should get into that or something, because I definitely would make a very functional, customizable dual disc. But that eats a lot of time, and that's a lot of stuff being put into. But yeah, listen here. I did a big no-no with this. Kind of like dried out after some time. I kind of have to squeeze it a bit more to make it all fit, really. The extra deck goes in my pocket. Sadly, if this was the Yusei Fudo dual disc, there would be actually a placement here for the extra deck. But yeah, deck goes here. Graveyard, banish would be probably my other pocket. Extra deck in another pocket. And yeah, of course, you're not bringing this to a tournament. You're playing with friends. We could use it in a tournament, but that'd be real wonky because of these zones here. But yeah, so Link Zone here, corresponding to this one and this one. And this, even though it does technically retract, it can't because of the cardboard. So yeah, I'll give you an underview. That's how it looks. Pretty cool, I'll be honest. It's all chromed out. Red pattern, and then you flip it to the side. Spray painting everything wasn't that bad. The only bad decision is this. Let me bring it into the light so you can see that the graveyard is actually spray painted. Just so you know, why does it look so terrible? It's because I actually never spray painted anything in my life except for this right here. So yeah, so all this right here was actually my first try. Spray. I can't speak. I got a paper on my nose. I'm so sorry. Spray painting. So yeah, that's the dual disc. I don't get to use this much. But yeah. That's everything. When it comes to tokens or whatever, pockets and pockets and pockets. Since the Cyrus app actually has coins and dice on it already, just put it there, activate the app, and then bada bing, bada boom. You're flipping coins, rolling dice without actually having to do it. So yeah. Again, link in the description for all this except for this dual disc. Here's a bit more in detail with the link zones. They were actually originally pendulum zones, but yeah, link zones now.